Hey, we're back with some Ascension 20 Silent Slay the Spire action. Now, I apologize if there's a bad background noise in this one. My neighbor is just in his usual fucking daily routine of running power tools 24 motherfucking 7, so yeah, bear with me. I'll get maybe some, I don't know, soundproof this room if I ever actually got serious about this, but I don't know. My average of 2 to 3 views probably doesn't warrant that. Anyway, Silent Ascension 20. I'm gonna take a few more stabs at this. A little bit about myself. I'm on the year at about a 25% win rate on Ascension 20 with Silent. Last 2 months I'm about 31%. So I'm getting pretty decent at it. And I'll try to explain things as I go along. Maybe it'll be helpful to people. So, I've mentioned this in the other video, but I will never really ever trade my starting relic on Silent, especially, really on any of the classes, but especially on the Silent. And transforming at the start of the game, it's a little too risky to do that, and obtain 100 gold is just the safest and most valued choice here. So let's take a look at the routes. Left side has 2 elites. There's no campfire or anything between them, so it's not a great route. Right side, we could do... So I'd probably start here. I only really want to hit one shop, even though I have 100 gold. So I'm looking at 2 elites at most in any route, which is not great. I might want to prioritize hitting a little more question marks. That way I can get kind of some pseudo-elite type events. You know, maybe we'll get the relic that upgrades your shit and adds a pain. Maybe we'll get that golden idol. Maybe we'll get the fungus that reduces vulnerability. So yeah, probably the right side. I think I'm targeting this elite. That way I can hit this shop. Another option is I could hit this shop really early, and then just hit all these. Actually, that's probably a better route. Yeah, that seems like the best route. And then maybe I'll take on the green shard just to get it out of the way. We'll see how the fight goes. So I'll start here. It looks like take the 100 gold. Let's do it. Good old Jawworm. My most hated of the intro fights, but you know it's all RNG. You either kill him with ease or you take 20 damage. Sometimes decision making comes into play, but not really. You're generally just wanting to block all the damage. Like on a turn like this where he has the defense, it's like, I guess this is a decision. It's like, do I take 17 damage and try to get some damage in? Not really. I'm not even going to bother striking because he has the 9. So I'll just take 7 here. And of course we draw only a neutralize on the turn. He has no armor and no attacking. That's just kind of how it fucking goes, right? Yeah, we're pretty fucked. We're taking well more than 20 damage in this fight. So let's defend and just attack twice, I guess. You know, sometimes, you know, it's hindsight's kind of whatever. It all depends on what you draw. You can look at what's left in your deck sometimes to get an idea of the odds. I probably should have been doing that a little bit more. But whatever. We took 30 damage or whatever. It's cool. I mean, it's not cool, but whatever. So these 2 are completely worthless. Never ever pick them under any circumstance ever. And I'll explain it a little bit. You know, don't just take my word for it. Prepared. It occupies a spot in your hand and just replaces itself while then having to discard another card. So it's literally just like reducing your hand size by 1. Upgraded, it technically draws 1 positive card, but your hand size still is -1 because it discards 2 as well. It's just a horrible, horrible card. Not even with tough bandages should you even take that. Setup, this was like, there's this weird sort of theme I felt they were trying to go for with Silent, but it just doesn't work. Of like, you know, these cards like Phantasmal Killer, Outmaneuver, Setup, it's like to like basically set up a big turn the following turn. But considering you can't. It's not consistent at all. Like it's even worse than the Shiv archetype. Bouncing Flask is good enough. Since we're taking these, we may not get offered another card necessarily. I mean, we'll probably get one at this shot, but you can never bank on it. Bouncing Flask is good enough. Could get another one and just go all in on poison. We could have a pretty rough time with the knob, but Lagaluvan would be pretty easy. Sentries, it could be rough. Masterful Stab is okay. Grand Finale shit. It's like prepared and set up level. Just never take it unless for some weird reason you can consistently get it as the last card. I've never been able to do it, but if that's you, you do you. I personally will never take this card ever. Masterful Stab. I'm not as huge of a fan as a lot of people are of this card. It completely falls off late game, but sometimes you just got to focus on the early game entirely. You do kind of have to weigh options sometimes. It's like you do want to take the stuff that's best for the immediate situation, but you should also think forward. You know, you can take a card like this, and it'll seem really powerful because it carries you through Act 1 a lot, but you may find that you don't have a good win rate because later on it's pretty much a curse. Like worse than a strike even, I would say. But I might have to take it here. What is our boss? Damn. It's rough because Infinite Blades I would take if it wasn't that boss. The reason I don't take it against this boss is it's pretty much a curse. Like, you don't want that power in play because there's those 2 turns where he has spikes. And your Shiv, you have to make the decision of, you know, playing it and taking 4, or you don't play it and then it cycles back through your deck. And you don't really want to draw a Shiv. That's like a pretty bad draw, you know? So, definitely probably not doing Infinite Blades. Masterful Stab would be better, because it could at least help me with the initial part of that boss fight, like breaking him before he does a big attack. But Bouncing Flask, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling just another Bouncing Flask, as weird as that sounds. There's not really many other great options here. I could do a Bouncing Flask and a Masterful Stab. Dodge and roll, you don't really take that if you don't have footwork. I don't really take it Act 1 anyway, even if I have footwork. Unless it's like right before the boss. I will say on this boss, we don't have the luxury because the elites go right up to the end, but if the elites kind of ended around here, you could safely start taking like the pure defensive skills, like, you know, backflip, dodge and roll if you have the support. Because this guy you want defense on. Much more than the other 2 bosses. You don't want your hands necessarily filled with attacks. So we'll take this. It's a pretty spendy Masterful Stab. I could remove... I don't want to remove a strike, I don't think. I probably only want... So let's see, 85 plus 79. That's 164... So I can't buy the both of them. I think I'll just take the Duplication Potion. Duplication Potion with the Bouncing Flask should be able to win me the fights. I have 2 of them, and it actually makes it a lot better against Knob. I'll just take the heal here. Lost a lot of health against Jawworm, so I need it. Probably take 6 max HP. We could maybe take the damage here because we're only taking on 2 elites. It's 23 damage. Let's do it. I usually take the max HP loss, but oh, fuck yes. So now I was going to upgrade here, but I think I'll just heal before this fight because with this in my hand, I've got some pretty good relics here. It's as if I've taken on an elite or 2. So I will take this just because I want to target this shop. It's kind of a win-win. Like, I'll get this out of the way so I don't have to game my Act 3 plan around a green shard path. And also I can remove this horrible curse. So I think I will duplicate here the Bouncing Flask. it's enough to win this fight. Otherwise, I'd be taking a lot of damage. So let's get this out of the deck. I could... What do we got here? 2 defends. I'm debating just bouncing flasking here. I don't know if I need to, though. I could save myself 5 health. And let's do it. I think this saves us more health in the long run, getting all this poison, because now I'm not going to have to deal with those turns. And I got lucky there drawing the defend and then getting a defend upgraded, so I pretty much only lose 2 HP here. So now he's just for sure dead, right? Which is nice. And then we don't have to worry pain, we don't have to play anything. Pretty awesome. See, bouncing flask. People don't like it, I'm telling you, it's good. And granted, you know, any fight, the sentries would have been the worst situation there, but even then I still would have probably done the same line of play. Burn through that artifact, because my deck needs to have that artifact burned anyway. I would have lost a lot more HP on the sentries, admittedly. But Knob I may have even taken less damage on, because he has much less HP, and I would have done that same opener play. Ancient Tea Set, it's okay. With my deck, it's actually pretty good if I have like drawing like 2 bouncing flasks. I could maybe justify Flying Knee here. I'm not a huge fan of Flying Knee in general, but since my deck is kind of heavy with those bouncing flasks, I could see myself actually being able to proc that energy a lot of the time, which normally my main criticism of that card is that you just can't proc that energy a lot of the time in Act 1. And it's mainly an Act 1 type deal, so... But it's okay, it's like middle of the road, I'd say. So I am debating... I could go the left route, and I'm pretty likely to get a card remove in one of these events. Though it's hard to pass up a guaranteed, like, rest or upgrade. I might take the rest, because I'm gonna take at least some damage from pain, and these normal battles could be pretty rough for me. Like if I run into the gremlin mobs or the slime mobs, I'm gonna have a pretty bad time. So I'll probably just take the heal, I think. Yeah, that way I can make use of this relic too, and not just have it be immediately dead. Ooh, look at that. Or Calcum. That's really good with our bouncing flask deals. So now I can... it's actually better for me not to play the defend here, because Orichalcum gives me the necessary... Or it gives me more block than that. So, let's see, can I kill any of them? 9 plus 3, 9 plus 6. I could kill this guy. And then I'll just get 1 strike in here. Take a little bit of damage. Flying Knee. Fairy in a Bottle. Now we're definitely surviving that elite fight for sure, so that's pretty nice. I don't know if I need Quick Slash here. I think now that I have Orichalcum and Fairy in a Bottle, Quick Slash, I don't want to... The thing is, like, I'm only taking on 1 more elite, and especially with this boss, I don't really need attacks. So... And a quick note on these, they're kind of middle of the road. I rate Quick Slash a little bit better than Flying Knee for Act 1 attacks. It's the same amount of damage, but it actually upgrades into 1 more damage kind of randomly, which is somewhat relevant sometimes, but really not most of the time. Endless Agony is pretty good. Usually I'm just using it as a 0 cost, 1-time 8 damage deal. You can, in some cases, like against the sentries, purposely let them cycle through once. That way you kind of mitigate a few of those status cards. You can do the same thing against like Slime Boss, but usually you're not really using that effect of sort of letting it cycle through. It's okay, but Sneaky Strike, I don't rate this at all. This is on the Prepared and Setup and Doppelganger and Storm Steel and Grand Finale level of just never take it. It's so bad. It's so bad. So we'll skip them. Oh wow, I probably should have factored in that I've only fought. That's my. So only one of these could even be the mob. I still think the rest is fine. So we'll just do this. Gotta remember that we have Orichalcum. In this case, we don't need it. Survivor would get us more block, but he's only doing 6. 4 actually now. Let's just do the most. Oh yeah, what am I doing? He's dead. Yeah, I'm pretty oblivious sometimes to like obvious lethals. So Bane, I just don't need it. It could give me a little more burst. I mean, I got a lot of poison, but I just don't need it. That's the weird thing about Bane. I mean, I could take it. Accuracy is horrible, and also even in a Shiv deck, I wouldn't take it. That's how bad it is. It just like in a Shiv deck, this is not what makes a Shiv deck work. Let's put it that way. And I won't get too much into that. That's like a whole discussion in itself. Sucker Punch isn't that good. It's one of the shittier attacks, but if you're really hurting for an attack, you can take it. And that's kind of how I feel with Bane too, even more so. With Bane, it's like, if you have poison and you're hurting for an attack, you take it. Otherwise, you just don't take it. Like, I have a lot of poison. I don't know. Should I take it? I feel like I don't need it. I'm going to skip it. It's not... It's weird because, like, I like it much better with Envenom. What should I do here? Let's do one of these. One of these will take 5 damage, but I want to get one of these guys low enough. So I'm going to be weak. I want extra energy next turn, and I want to be able to kill some of them, but I also don't want to take a whole lot of damage this turn. I may have to use this fire potion in this fight. So let's get this shit out of the hand. Let's kill him. Put weakness on him. I'm just going to use it. I may get offered another. I may get offered another potion, and maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. So whatever. There's a bouncing flask here. I should hopefully not take any more damage this fight. I should have let Orichalcum tick just as like good practice, you know. Orichalcum is a great Act 1 relic. It's like you love to see it in Act 1. Not so much the later acts. So Cloak and Dagger, don't really like that card. Especially against the boss coming up, because it's like it doesn't even hardly give you any defense on those spiky turns. Deflect, if I had footwork, I would take it here. Luckily, since I've skipped, and not A, I haven't gotten a whole lot of encounters, but B, I also skipped a few of those mediocre attacks. My deck is not attack heavy, so I don't really need a card like Defect to win this boss fight. Okay, so at least we got this early, and we'll do this. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward turn. Orichalcum should be pretty good in this fight. I think I need to play this. Oh, I forgot to play the extra strike. Fuck. I'm so dumb. Yeah, whatever. It may not end up mattering, but it may. You never know. So I'll be just outside of range for Fairy of the Bottle. Oh, never mind. I'm in the range. Whatever. I got to use the Fairy in a Bottle. That was a pretty poor fucking played thing by me, but luckily you can make a few misplays and still win. The game's not so unforgiving. This is like, man, it sucks. So I've mentioned it in the other videos, but when you fight elites, a big part of it's like you're not just doing it for the relic. You're doing it for the extra gold and also the increased chance at rares. But it is pretty disappointing when you get a useless rare offered like this, because it's like, damn, that could have been like Corpse Explosion or Adrenaline or Wraith Form, you know, something amazing. But it's like to add Salt in the Wound, they add Slice and Outmaneuver next to it. Just an utter fucking useless array of cards. But whatever, we can get that stupid ass Curse out of our deck. Damn, there's a lot of good cards offered here. So I will never add 3 Bouncing Flasks to any deck, but Crippling Cloud, man, I'm almost debating. Even Lee's Waffle would be pretty okay here, but we got the Campfire coming up, so we probably don't need that. Anchor, I usually wouldn't spend gold on. It's okay, but Backstab, we don't need it now. Would have been good earlier. Crippling Cloud is really good. Footwork is really good. So let's see. The two of them, that's 124. So I can't remove and take them. How greedy of it. If I do... Damn. I'm seriously debating holding on to the Pain, because these are such good options. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And I'll just rest. I'll just rest to guarantee that I don't die here, because my deck is actually so solid now that it's gonna get me through most of Act 2. And, you know, I've got incredibly good relics. Well, you know, this one's not incredible, but everything else is pretty damn good. So let's apply a lot of poison, add on to that weakness, get the Flying Knee in action. He'll die next turn. I don't even need to draw any attacks. I'll take 1 damage here just to stack up a little bit more poison. That poison, I've got a lot of poison taken on him now. So we got this, we'll do that, and call it good. No sense taking damage when I've got all this poison ticking. Now, as you can imagine, if my deck was filled with attacks, those would be some pretty brutal turns. I've noticed, like, even some of the pretty popular streamers don't understand how to prepare for this fight, I feel. This, to me, is the absolute easiest boss fight in the game. I've hardly ever died to this boss. My lose rate, I think in this calendar year, I think I've lost once to it out of hundreds of runs. That's how consistent I am with beating this boss. And yes, I am tooting my own horn. Deal with it. I'm just kidding. You ever get that where, like, things come out of your mouth and they're way douchier than you intended? That's like my my brand, I feel. That's like what has defined my life. Somehow I still have friends. Okay. These are bad. Bad. They have a lot of bad rares, this class. It's one thing that kind of... I guess I get the best players in the game. Silent is usually their lowest win rate class. Right there with Defect. And I think a lot of it's to do with the plethora of shitty rares. So Strum of Steel is a never take. Unload is a never take, other than sometimes in Act 1, never as a boss reward, but sometimes I would take it just for the fact that it's a lot of damage for 1 energy. But at this point I would never take Unload. Bullet Time is the only takeable one here. I could see an argument for it, given that we have a pretty fat, or I always say fat, heavy deck. You know, the cost of it is high. I might take Bullet Time. I typically don't like to actually take Bullet Time. If I take it, though, it protects us. It will protect us. You know what? I'm going to take it because it protects us against not getting a good boss relic. The inclusion of that, I can look for cards that draw now, and I can upgrade it. Oh, fuck yes. It is an amazing card in Runic Pyramid, so we're taking it. Runic Pyramid is just, it's kind of right there with Snecko Eye in terms of just always being good. It's also it's always like I usually have a well-laid plans if I can find one, and it feels bad to take Runic Pyramid after that. So the fact that we don't have a well-laid plans makes it even more enticing. Then couple that with the fact that we have bullet time, and I'm just salivating over here. So I definitely want to take this on to get that pain out of my deck. It'll be really bad, and it does suck that if I do that, I can only take on... Well, I could go the left route and take on a pretty good amount of elites, but this sequence here could be rough. We'll see. I have the option to go either way after this shot, so let's do it. Pain at the start, but we can... I've been pretty lucky in drawing Survivor along with that card. So let's see, I could neutralize... We want to know which ones we want to hold on to. Like, so they're doing 6 times 3, 18 damage. I could take one of them down with neutralize. I'll do that. Take the one with more health out first, I think. So we'll do a full block here. We don't have like caltrops or anything, but that's fine. I don't really like to target that card necessarily. Is this a good bullet time turn? I think so. We can't get the 4 attacks, unfortunately, but I do want to get these defends and the bouncing flask in. Plus, the flying knee will give me some extra energy next turn, so we're just going to play everything. We'll see where that the poison was evenly distributed, so we'll keep going after this guy. I kind of went in on him earlier. It's probably negligible going after the high one versus the lower one. Maybe the lower one was a better play. This is not a great turn. Unfortunate that we couldn't draw a defend, but actually we have Orichalcum, so it's not so bad. I could play the footwork now, but I think Bouncing Flask is going to save us more in the long run. So we're going to take a bit of damage here, but that's just how Act 2 normal fights go. Especially when you take a Runic Pyramid, it can be a little rough right after you take it. But if you can survive those first few fights and kind of build into Runic Pyramid, it's so freaking good. So I don't even need to play any defense here. I'll just do a footwork and another Bouncing Flask. And next turn we can just finish the job. Finish the job, James. Anybody cringing yet? Any cringe fans out there? Let's see. Poison Potion, pretty good with our deck. Leg Sweep, I mean, these other ones are no good. Finisher can sometimes work when in a bullet time deck. Sneaky Strike can just never work. But I don't. Yeah, I only have one added attack. No real reason to add Finisher. Leg Sweep's where it's at. It's a really good card. Ooh, look at that. Now we have just opened up our options here. So we can actually go this way, or if the shot's not good, we could maybe try another shot. Oh, just enough for orange pellets. Oh, I'm gonna get stuck with this pain in my deck all game, huh? Definitely not taking any of these other cards. The only one I might even consider is Cloak and Dagger, but nah. So orange pellets, I only have one power card, so it doesn't give me much immediate benefit. I'm not particularly high on health. I generally really like to get orange pellets in my deck, because here's the thing, it only really sucks if you have Snecko Eye. Oddly enough, it's like Snecko Eye wants the confusion, but that's a whole other topic. But when I have Runic Pyramid, I'm just never going to take Snecko Eye. It's the only time I'll never take Snecko Eye. So orange pellets is like really good, and plus since everything's retained, you can pretty reliably proc it. So it feels really bad not to take orange pellets here, but so this guy, for instance, he has that horrible debuff that he does to you, and orange pellets just laughs in its face. It just clears it all away. But as far as, it'd be fuck me, dude. I really am leaning toward taking it, but it sucks to have this pain in the deck. Really sucks to have pain in the deck. I'm going to take... So here's the thing. Even against some of these normal fights... so I fought the birds. It's not out of the question that I end up facing Shelled Parasite. Or the Acolyte dude that hexes you. Or the Eyeball dude that also frails. So there's like Frail and Hex involved. So like this does actually give me some immediate benefit. I just have to get that footwork the turn that I need it. Or at least get it before the turn that I need it. Fuck it, I'm doing it. It's too good. It's just too good with Runic. And it's like a sign that the gold was like exactly what I need it to be. So here is a great example. Like this guy's going to put his hex on us. And I have a few options. I can see what he does after the hex. If he's going to make me vulnerable, I'll probably even wait another turn and then just clear out the vulnerable. Because vulnerable will put a lot of damage on me. Turn 1's pretty easy here. We're just going to put some of this shit on him. So I just have to play... Yep, so he's going to do this. Let's go ahead and Flying Knee and Bouncing Flask. We could also strike, but I want to keep the strikes just to guarantee that we'll shuffle one Dazed in, but it doesn't really matter. So now I can safely take... the footwork, so we'll attack once, play the power, and then remove our weakness. For some reason I was thinking that did vulnerable. I need to like remember that shit. But so now he's doing the vulnerable. Luckily we can get this shit out of our hand. You know, with Runic Pyramid, pain is actually not so bad if you can get that, if you can hold on to that survivor. And we'll just do some attacks here. He should be dead hopefully next turn. I think I'm pretty solid on the fact that Runic Pyramid, or sorry, that not removing that pain was probably the good play there. Like I'm pretty happy to have power pellets in a Runic Pyramid deck. What we need now is to get another power. Flechettes could be good. You know, you do need attacks, even in a poison defend deck. Flechettes is pretty insane with Runic Pyramid. I'm probably going to take it. It also makes it so if I end up getting Envenom, Envenom's another thing that I could proc orange pellets with, and Envenom is pretty insane with the Flechettes that can reliably do things. Acrobatics, I don't really need card draw that much now that I have Runic Pyramid. But Acrobatics could still work, but I think Flechettes is just a really good card here. So this guy can be pretty brutal, but luckily we have this. It won't mitigate the cards that do get fucked, which can really fuck you over in you know, a Runic Pyramid deck. I think I'll hold on to this for now and Flying Knee and do that. That way I have more energy next turn, in case I need to play like a high energy footwork. So Bullet Time pretty much saved our ass. We don't really need to do anything with it yet. I'm going to hold it for when I need it. Yeah, we can just do this. I guess I didn't need to play that second defend. I should have Crippling first. Oh, did we throw away the survivor? We did. Well, that wasn't the greatest, but yeah, that footwork's down there too. Maybe I'll just Orichalcum here. I can, I do need to draw this thing. If I could clear out the way for like 5 slots, Bullet Time's one way to do that, but it's gonna hurt me a bit with pain. It might just be the right play. So I will Flechettes first, then Bullet Time, and start clearing some shit out here. I'm thinking so Orichalcum gives me 6. This would save me 2 extra damage. I guess I saved the extra damage, right? Because I'm gonna get some skills to proc the. I mean, at this point, I don't even know if I necessarily need to eliminate my thing here, but we'll do it anyway. So we should be good here. $12 plus 18 should do it. So we took a bit of damage there. Another crippling cloud. Hard to say no to that. We do need to upgrade him though. We have this pseudo upgrade, but it's a little unreliable. Crippling cloud is much better upgraded. Hard to pass it up though. It's pretty damn good. So can we target? I kind of want to target this or I guess this to get this fucking thing out of my deck. I do need to get it out of my deck. I don't necessarily need to target a lot of elites because do I just do this to throw it out? I think I just do this to throw it out, and then we'll play a Crippling Cloud. My relic setup and card setup is pretty good right now. It's not necessarily good for taking on Act 2 elites, but it's fine for like the rest of the game, so I don't need to really risk too much, so to speak. I think we just need to set up for a big bullet time turn, so we do need to empty our hand a bit. Let's take one of these, the weaker one, down first. And I guess just this, and really hope for bullet time this next turn. We got about a 50-50 shot to get it, a little less than a 50-50 shot. But we got it, so we good. We're just going to play like everything. Play these first, see where the poison lands. So let's get this dude down. Might as well get the 10 block, it's a little bit better. So which one has more poison? This one? So we'll take the one with more poison down first, because he'll be closer to death. We're still taking a bit of damage here. We may have to use the fire potion. This fucking fight is fucking brutal, right? Yeah, we're gonna have to use it here. 12 isn't even enough actually to be. I might. Oh, actually, it is enough. So yeah, I'll use it here and just save a little bit of damage. This fight is fucking brutal. Man, I need to almost like cycle back into bullet time. Very brutal. Very fucking brutal. So Fletchette's doing a lot of work there. That's where you see Fletchette's kind of saved my ass a few times already. Yeah, I don't need, and even in a runic pyramid situation, I'm not going to take prepared. It's just, I'd rather draw something else, you know? Yeah, we need to do this and heal. We gotta get that thing out of our deck, which means we're gonna bypass some of these, I think. I'd rather just go straight up for this route. Deck's not necessarily gonna play nice with those elites. It's having pretty hard troubles as it is. Crippling Cloud, Bouncing Flask, and Flying Knee. Pretty straightforward turn. Let's get this guy dead quick. This guy is like really fucking coming at me this round, apparently. Cultist, right, you call him. We want to play the minimal amount of skills needed to block here. So 11, do one more, and then put a strike on him. So he's dead next turn, and then With any luck, we can. Damn. Oh, I'm vulnerable. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we're just gonna bullet time, footwork, neutralize. Now we're not vulnerable. 10, 17, so 10 and 7, and then we'll hold these. We'll have this for the pain. The inevitable pain. Get that shit out of my deck. So we'll be vulnerable again, and we don't have any more powers to clear it with, but we can hopefully get a pretty big Fletchettes hit to accelerate things. 4, we can probably do better. So let's just block, and we'll recycle the deck, hit a strike in. Sucks that we don't have any poison taking on him, but I just don't want to take damage. Yeah, we can bullet time here, just get a lot of poison in on him. Maybe I'll Fletchettes first, and then bullet time, just to get that extra proc on the skill. Yeah, he should be pretty much dead. There's no way I'm dying here. Alright, we didn't take too much damage there. Explosive could be okay. Nightmare could be okay. I don't really have great nightmare targets right now. But say I do get a catalyst, it's hard because I don't generally like to take a card without the synergies already present, like Nightmare. Nightmare can be a pretty bad boon in your deck if it's a tough one, because it's like you have runs with Nightmare where it's like the best card in the world, but then there's other times, like if I took it right now, it could just, the only way I'm really playing it is alongside bullet time. It's another card slot occupied that could just be footwork or something. But that being said, the best target right now for it would be footwork. If I did it on footwork, that could be a win condition for this boss fight. Right now I don't necessarily have a win condition for the boss fight. Like I have the 2 crippling clouds, but I'd much rather have like a corpse explosion for that fight. These will be good enough. I don't know, maybe I should take the Nightmare. The Acrobatics is already upgraded, but I just don't think I need card draw. I could, though, with bullet time. I don't know, Acrobatics might be okay. It would help me get to shit faster. It would also be another thing I could throw pain away with, because there's going to be, depending on what route I take, there's going to be a good amount of fights before I can remove it. I'm almost wondering if this upgraded Acrobatics is the way to go. It's another skill for Fletchettes. It's card draw, which I don't have any right now at all. I do need, even in a Runic Pyramid, you should have some card draw, so I'll take the Acrobatics. Probably shouldn't take this fight on. I just don't feel I need to play things close to the wire right now because everything's so good. Like normally I would play a little closer to the wire if I just wasn't so confident that this is already kind of a game-winning deck. Like I don't need any new relics to win the game. I just need some cards. Granted, this will give me some better chances at rare cards, but it's also a pretty good chance I'm just gonna fucking die. Like if I fight, a lot of the fights I would end in death here, so I'd at least want to. It'd be better if I had a campfire right before this fight, so I'll just do a normal fight. So this fight, as long as we can get to our footwork, we should be good. Bouncing Flask is a fine play here. We'll burn some of these artifacts. So once we get the artifact gone on this guy, he's pretty easy. He's kind of just toast. So he has no artifact anymore, so we should be pretty good. Let's just get this strike out of the way. Let's put some weakness. So could I kill this guy 6 times 4? It's 24. Nah. So we'll just do this. And one more defend, I guess. Do a full block. We will be frail, but hopefully we can get our footwork, which we just did, so that's good. Footwork. I guess I still kind of get fucked here by... Let's do this. Still do kind of get fucked here. Because the frail still applied to my thing, but whatever, at least I'm not frail for the rest of this fight. So let's absolutely go motherfucking ham here on this piece of shit. I fucking hate this fight, if you couldn't tell. There's only one Act 2 normal fight. Well, there's a few Act 2 normals I hate more. The Shelled Parasite plus Fuggle is probably the worst. That fight is such bullshit. I don't know. I'd probably keep this instead of going double poison, because I may want to take at least the one elite. I don't know. I'm still debating. We'll see what relic I get from this chest. Whoa, Catalyst. I immediately wish that I had Nightmare, but you know what? I still think Acrobatics, in the context of that turn, was the correct play. Like, it's not necessarily likely I'd get a Catalyst this soon after, but my god, Catalyst with Nightmare is insane, but you don't really need it. It's just, with this deck, well, what I needed is Catalyst, so I'm really glad that I got that. Ollie Smooth, that's a pretty good pickup. Another good relic. Let me think here. I guess I don't know if I want to take on... I want to get the heal in, I think. Yeah, let's just get the heal. So I took on 0 elites this act, which normally is bad. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, well, that's good. I can remove a strike now instead, or just get more good cards. I do need to start removing strikes, because I have not removed any, right? Yeah. It's pretty imperative. So we fight this guy again. We can hold on to this. Let's do this, this, this. We'll hold this to clear it for 0 mana. So footwork, neutralize, 0 cost bouncing flask. Not bad at all. And leg sweep. We'll hold on to this for the old pain removal. So we'll just do this now and full block and get some energy next turn. Although I guess we're just fine next turn no matter what. That's my dog drinking water, if you hear some weird dribbling sound in the background. I don't really need... Ooh. I don't need Caltrops, but it's worth mentioning that it would help with orange pellets. I generally don't like to take this card, but I could justify it, since the only reason I am taking it is because I don't have any other powers. If I had just one other power, I would take so many powers right here. I would take like Tools of the Trade even. The only one I wouldn't take would be Well-Laid Plans, since we already have Runic, and then I wouldn't take Accuracy because we don't have Shivs. Even if I had Shivs, I still probably wouldn't take Accuracy. But every other power I think I would take. And Caltrops is probably the lowest on that list, but I think I'm going to take it. Just so I can... this buff is so devastating that I just have to reliably be able to remove it. Oh, game, don't tempt me like this. Don't tempt me like this. You know, I got the curse removed. I should remove a strike here, I feel. But it's a footwork. It's a footwork. I have power platelets. I have to take it. I'm sorry, but I just have to. There's no other way around it. So how many attacks do I have? I will be removing at least one, at least two. I'm thinking of these. At least one, maybe two. Ideally three, but it depends on how Act 3 goes. The thing is, I have so few attacks that I might want this poison stab just to have it, because it is a good attack that kind of synergizes with my deck. I will take it. The weird time that you do take it in Act 2 and beyond would be like something like this. That's a lot of damage coming in. I'm gonna use it. This is, by the way, I mentioned like my most hated normal Act 2 fight. Here it is. Fuck this guy. Like, I motherfucking hate this fight. But let's hope that one of our 3 powers is drawn in our next 5 cards here. So I immediately am glad that I took Caltrops. Let's put some weakness on him. And then clear that, and then do that. I just want to get that frail gone. And then when we kill this, we'll probably want that vulnerability. So, man, it's so rough, man. So I'll do one of these. We'll keep this to clear the frail that's about to come in. We really need that bullet time. So, yeah, here we go. Bullet time. So bullet. So we'll kill him. Oh, I can't play it first. Bullet time first. Kill this guy so we get the vulnerable, and then clear it. And then just go ham. I guess I don't play the defend. Oh, I do play it because it's 10 block. Yeah, forgot that I have all these dexterities in play. We got him. That's about the easiest time you'll have with that fight, I feel. That fight usually does a lot more damage to me / kills me. Backflip could be okay. We do have the acrobatics, but it's not necessarily bad given that I have 2 footworks to add a low cost. You know, backflip, it plays pretty nicely with bullet time. I might actually upgrade bullet time over everything here. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I could rest as well, because I'm pretty low on health. But if I upgrade the bullet time, it definitely opens up my options for it, because now I can draw into it with these 2 cards, and I can also play flechettes. I mean, this is a minor thing, but you get an extra 4 damage out of your flechettes. It could be relevant sometimes. I don't know if I want to upgrade to that, though, because there's just so many high priority upgrades in this deck. Like footwork giving us an extra dexterity would be pretty nice. Crippling Cloud giving us better AoE. So my debate right now, maybe Catalyst. I could bank maybe on Catalyst getting upgraded from Warped Tongues because it's going to sit in the deck. I may have to bank on that because I think my main problem is I need immediate things to do. I will upgrade bullet time, I think, just to get it to that 2 energy. I think that's the play. It becomes so much more versatile at 2 energy, and bullet time, I think, I got the card draw to really make it work. Let's draw first. Throw out a strike. So, let's play this. And this. I could hold the Caltrops. It isn't necessarily a huge source of damage in this fight, and I could hold that as just for like I'd rather get my footworks in play without having to rely on them as being the buff removal. So Caltrops is going to be my my debuff removal. Yeah. Crippling Cloud. I could hold this as my attack for the debuff remove, but the debuff isn't happening anytime soon, really. Depends on how fast I can kill these. I believe it happens usually more often when you can kill these guys. Otherwise, he's just going to start attacking. Don't quote me on that, though. I think we're inclined just to strike here and let Orichalcum get some value. Also, this is probably good to do. Yeah, we'll take 4 damage, but I'll need all these defense for turns like this. So we didn't get our bullet time. That's fine. Let's kill him. And I guess we can just leg sweep here. I should have put it on him. What am I thinking? I'm not thinking, apparently. Alright, so we're down to pretty low health. I could try to let... let's see what this does. So we can just kill him. So this is coming in. I can save this for a second application of that. So we'll do our bullet time here. We'll actually draw first, I think. So this is another time where bullet time is nice on the upgrade. So we'll do that. Now we're... oh yeah, we gotta do this. Now we're no longer frail. We'll hold the Caltrops for if he does that again. So now we're good there. I could Catalyst now. I may as well wait on the Catalyst, I think. I think I'll wait on the Catalyst. If I could get it upgraded. This is rough. Take 3 damage, or not. Go with not. I want to wait for him to like summon or do something like that. So now we can do this. I guess I'll Catalyst him now. Puts him on a 3-turn clock. And what we want to do, we want to draw into bullet time. That's what we want to do. I'm trying to think what our best route for that is. Is it backflip? No, we didn't get it. I don't think I'm dead here, so it should be fine. Yeah. I was a little afraid that I would die there. I love Fletchette's animation. Alright, we survived the worst of it. I think, hopefully... oh, and now I will take Nightmare. Doppelganger is useless, never take it. Alchemize is not really that good. If I had Toy or Anthropoder, the one that heals you when you take a potion, I might. That's probably the only time I take Alchemize. But Nightmare, me being able to Nightmare a Catalyst is just going to be so fucking godsend. That's like a win condition right there. So Cursed Key or Sozu. Empty Cage, just worth mentioning, this is like a low-key, a really good boss relic. It's weird. It's actually a pretty good boss relic. I won't take it here. I mean, I might. You could argue I should, because I have 5 strikes, and I have bullet time. I don't, maybe, it's possible I don't need these relics. Because if I take Curse Key, I'm maybe at best only removing 1 strike, because I'm going to have to remove a curse later on. If I do this, I will remove 2 strikes, and then I can remove maybe 2 more through shops, at least 1. And then at that point, I'm pretty reliably getting what I need. Dude, I'm like almost betting it. So like Sozu, I think Cursed Key is probably out of the question. It sucks to... It's so good to get it as your Act 2 boss reward, but in the context of my deck, I just don't know if it's the best. Sozu, potions are nice. They would help me get me out of a few shitty fights. Although Runic Pyramid protects me against most of the shitty fights, like Act 4 elites. I don't know if there's necessarily a wrong choice here. They're all almost equally good. Sozu, Act 3, I don't know if you... Don't quote me on this, but I feel like you get offered more potions Act 3 than any other act. It sure seems like when I take Sozu, I'm just getting potions every fight in Act 3. So... I'm leaning toward these two. With this deck, so if I take it down, it'd be a 27 card deck, then it could get down to 25 or so. And then I have this bullet time. Tough choice. Sure is nice to have extra energy when you have Runic Pyramid, though. But I also have bullet time. An upgraded bullet time at that. If I have the energy, though, it's almost like I don't need necessarily the consistency that removing these strikes would give me. So I guess I'll go Curse Key. This is one of those things where, like, emotions take part. Like, it's just hard for me to take Empty Cage over Cursed Key. I feel like Empty Cage was actually the correct play there, though, and I think it doesn't matter too much, though. So we could target here to remove some strikes. So here we have to take the blue shard, and we have to take Curse, and we could remove the Curse later. Let's go this way. Let's see if we can remove at least some of these strikes. I may have to resist the temptation to buy good cards. Let's draw first. Let's see. Yeah, I can full block here. We'll put the extra block on the guy that's buffing up his strength. I mean, the extra strength is pretty nice to not have to rely solely on bullet time. Yeah, I think maybe this is the correct play. So I don't have to worry about power. Another thing that worth noting is if we get Wraith Form, it'll be insane. Wraith Form with orange pellets, you can clear out the debuff. I'll probably buy that over removing a strike if I do see it. Footwork. Let's get it into play and just start defending these. We'll still want that bullet time, I think, to be able to deal with these guys. So we want to couple this with the whatchamacallit. What do you call it again? Bullet time, or catalyst. Yeah. Give the guy with more health, more weakness. Could be in for a bad turn coming up. See, this is a prime example, though, of why these strikes are fucking destroying me. I have all 5 strikes here. I guess footwork, defend. I could caltrops, or I could caltrops and strike just to get this shit out of my hand. Maybe that's the play. And to get this guy in kill range. Bouncing flask is not great in this AoE type situation. So we can actually, I'm really liking the energy here actually, so we can do this and that, and yeah, we'll do this. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all dead this turn anyway, but just in case. Can never be too safe. I have been overconfident before. Noxious Fumes, that's amazing. It's another thing to proc orange pellets with. It fits into our poison theme. So let's head to the right here. So there's no debuffs I have to worry about. I'll just bullet time here. We'll have to take a little bit of damage, but or Calcum. It's crazy to me in a deck with. I guess I don't have a whole lot of block cards. I do need to add some block cards to this deck, or I just need to remove strikes. But you know, probably don't need Nightmare for this fight. It's probably better than Bouncing Flask though. Yeah, we could Nightmare the Catalyst. It could maybe save us some damage. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do that now. Get this fight over with. Let's throw away. Okay. Let's throw away the defend, I guess. We'll definitely have enough coming up. So we should be able to finish everything. You're going to see the awesomeness. And I imagine if these were upgraded, so it's kind of like I need to upgrade the Catalyst now at this point. Okay, hold on, let me check. My neighbor's like... Yeah, my neighbor's like doing shit. I don't know if you can hear that. It's annoying. But yeah, but like I said, already we're getting offered potions, so it's good we didn't take Sozu. None of these are really good. Skewer is a great Act 1 attack. I low-key didn't realize how good that attack actually was for a long time. Oh man. Oh, you're gonna offer me this, seriously? Membership card is so damn good. I think I take it here and forego my strike removal. I think this, in the long run, gets me still a lot of value. Even though it's Act 3, it's early Act 3. And nothing, I mean, the only other thing I would do in this, I mean, Blessing of the Forge could be pretty good with Runic Pyramid, but you just, if you can make that work, you take it. Now, hopefully I get, let's see, I have this, so I'll get extra gold. I might have enough to remove at the next shop. There's probably a calculation I could do, but I'm a little too lazy to do that right now. So this guy could prove to be a little bit difficult. So we'll take him down 12. I may want to... Let's use a skill potion here. I'm going to need it. Well, this is a weird situation where I might actually take Phantasmal Killer. Just because this guy, that's kind of what you need to do. And then Nightmare, Crippling Cloud. Oh, sorry, Footwork. Probably should have done Noxious Fumes instead of Footwork. Alright, we'll take some damage. But, do I Nightmare the bullet time? Not really. I have a lot of defense and strikes coming up. Could save the Nightmare for Catalyst. Or I could Nightmare... I could Nightmare the Strike Plus. It's weird to do so. If I get the Catalyst, I don't know if I have the luxury to save this Nightmare. Yeah, I just don't think I have the luxury to do that. So, it's either Strike Plus, so this would be 9. I don't know. Bouncing Flask is unupgraded. It might be a little slow, but if I get the Catalyst, it could be pretty good. I think I shouldn't. I don't know. I probably shouldn't choose a card to copy. I guess the Strike Plus is the proper. It's weird, but it's like the proper play here. So he's got. Let's do the Leg Sweep now, and we can hold the defend. Maybe we should have just played it to get it out of the hand. Still taking a little bit of damage. So we'll do our Catalyst here. And then strike. Ah, man, this guy is really rough for this deck. What do I do? What do I do? Looks like a Footwork. Just hoping for bullet time there. Am I fucking dead? I hope not. I feel pretty sad to die. It's such a good deck. Nice. Hard to do them. I don't know why. I thought they were already weakened, so the math is like harder when they're already weakened. I won't take any of these. And, damn, 30 is probably not enough to remove, right? Just short. Deflect could be okay. Maybe a potion, though. I should buy something here. Get some sort of value out of my... what I had. Was it just me, or did I not get extra gold from that fight? Right? I didn't get extra... I don't know. Maybe, I'm sure maybe I did. Skill potion. Speed potion, since we're... I think speed potion. Yeah, we'll do speed potion. And I guess we need to rest here. Though the catalyst upgrade would be nice. But if I fight Reptomancer, I need some health buffer. This guy's pretty easy. So we can just do some draw. And I don't need this strike. I kind of want to let this burn up. So this guy doesn't debuff you at all. He just adds burns to your deck. So let's just... do this. If I do this right now... I don't know if I should. Let's get the strike out. I want to maybe see if I can upgrade this. So this is probably a bullet time turn. Get this strike out, backflip in, and a bullet time. So let's do this, 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 this. Let's just empty everything, I guess. So I want to block. Might as well just do this now. Put them on a 4-turn clock. Keep this for the next turns. So this, 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 this. And he should be dead. Barring any major setbacks. Akabeko could be okay with flechettes. I can do some shenanigans where I don't attack for a while. Although I do kind of need to attack to get them out of my hand, but I could maybe have some good Akabeko flechettes shenanigans. Dodge and roll I think I will take. Concentrate isn't horrible either, but I already have the bullet time, so I don't really need concentrate. Dodge and roll with 2 footworks is pretty good. Definitely take that. So let's just get this damn catalyst upgraded when we can finally actually do it, because not once has it seemed to actually upgrade with this warp tongue, so that game plan is a little less inconsistent than I thought it would be. So let's go left here so we can end up taking the... damn. You know what? It's not so bad. I have orange pellets, so it doesn't feel so bad to not get that. So this guy, we mainly just don't want to get a curse. If we get a curse, that could be game ending for us. Wait, why do I have a... oh yeah, the Wraith came from that chest. So unfortunately, I will end up with 5 strikes in my deck. It is what it is, I guess. I probably shouldn't have taken this membership card. We'll see, though. Probably shouldn't have taken it. Let's do I don't want him to do that attack. I don't necessarily want him to do this attack either. But we can live with that. So let's take 1 damage here in favor... No, I have bullet time. I don't need to take a damage. So yeah, as long as, and this is, I won't attack him here. This is kind of a it's an attack I like to see him. Actually, I do have to attack him. So let's get strike out of the deck, I guess. This is fine. Because we have the Caltrops next turn. So we'll just do this, I guess. Or do we bank on getting one of these other footworks? I think we can bank on getting another footwork. If not, I can probably full block anywhere anyway, so I'll play the Caltrops now. Just to get it out of the hand. I don't want to strike in case he adds the curse. Okay, so we got the footwork. I think we just got to empty the hand here. So bullet time, footwork, attack. Yeah, that's the attack we want to see. So we'll just do this. And catalyst, and we'll hold these. Should be dead as long as we defend this. So we'll just defend and let him die. We can attack him if he's... You like that? I like flechettes. One more backflip can be good. It'll help us dig. It's good with dexterity. I like it. Deck is definitely a bit fat and full of strikes, but what can you do? Fuck. Wraith is really a rough one for Runic Pyramid, because it does not go out of your deck. No real good, just not really any good Nightmare targets there. But we want, if we can Nightmare the Catalyst in time, then that's what we want to do. Do this. Defend plus. I can probably afford to just play this full chance right now. Take 1 damage. We'll get the footwork in play, I guess, and back flip. We really need to get to that catalyst. So let's do this and dodge and roll to get some. Alright, we need to go in on this. I guess I'll save the Nightmare for the catalyst. Really sucks we couldn't get to that catalyst in time. You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Seriously? Like, not only is the catalyst down there, like the better defensive cards are as well. Let's use this, I guess. It'll save us from taking any more damage. Well, we'll still take damage, I guess. God, this is rough. So we'll just mitigate what we can and play that Nightmare. So 5 more damage, but next turn he's dead. This fight is so rough when you don't draw well. We really need to get these strikes out of the deck. See, this is what Nightmare can get you. 2,000 poison. Frozen egg, a little late for it, but who knows, maybe it'll work. Well, I want to fatten the deck a little more. Dodge and roll could be pretty key, though. I think 1 more dodge and roll makes sense. Open up with backflip. Play Noxious Fumes, play one more of these, and we'll get the lower guy down, I guess. We need some good cards. It sucks that you know, fuck me for having the strikes in the deck, but it's like I draw all of them at the start. Like, did I miss that they were innate in my deck or something? Like, did I miss that somewhere? Am I dead? I'm going to have to kill that guy on the left. Because I can't. I only have one fucking defend. I drew 4 fucking strikes. A bouncing flask. So 7 plus 2, 9 plus times 3 is not enough. Theoretically, let's say I somehow luck out and get all of them on him. That's 11. That's still not enough. This sucks so much. Why can't I get better cards? So if I weaken him, and do this, that's an extra 2, so I have 8 block, 30. If I weaken both of them, does it do less than 30? So 12. 12 goes down to 9. This goes down to 8. So 16 plus 9 is less than 30. It's the only real play, I guess. This really sucks. $13 times 3 would be... Dude, this is so fucked. Let's get this fucking asshole out of the deck. Three times 4 is 12. 12 plus 30 is still enough to kill that guy, so I think this guy will just leg sweep, and this guy will neutralize. Really need to get some cards here. I regret taking this membership card so much. I somehow just don't have any... what am I missing here? Like, what am I getting fucked by? So if I Fletchettes this guy... see where this goes. So we'll have to do that, yeah. Five health, man. Well, that is pretty clutch. Tools of the trade. I mean, I'm having such problems getting through my deck, it might be fine to take this. Even though I have this for draw, this for draw, this for draw, I might still need tools. It would help me with orange pellets. It also doesn't cost any energy to play. It's not a particularly great power. And actually... Awakened one, since we know we're facing Awakened one, maybe I don't take it. Yeah, in light of Awaken one, I probably don't take it. Choke could actually be okay with bullet time. I may take Choke, though it only is good with bullet time. I'd kind of need a second bullet time to reliably take Choke. I don't think I'll take Choke. So let's go this way. So we already saw Lee's Waffle, so we know we're not going to be able to heal. Let's take this now, I think. Because if I do, for whatever reason, end up increasing my health, I could get a better heal out of it. With like Regal Pello or something. Damn, I'm just short of being able to get that. A little late for meal ticket. Apotheosis could be good. It's a little slow. Or it's a little slow in the context that I'm so low on health. So nothing I can take really helps my health situation. Piercing Wail would be nice. I don't have one currently. I don't have a Malace. So I do need to get these, at least this Wraith out of the deck. So let's do that first. We're doing that no matter what. Upgraded footwork. I already have 2. Granted, they're not upgraded, but against this guy, I don't have a Malace to permanently lower his strength. I still have 5 strikes that I have troubles getting out of my deck. Right, I have troubles getting it out of my hand. I don't know. Just don't know. If I save 50 gold, how much a discount? 50? So if I save 50 gold, I could remove another strike in Act 4. I could also do this Dolly's mirror for another bullet time. I kind of like that. I could also get another catalyst. I think Dolly's mirror is probably the play here. It's just a question of what I put it on. It's got to be either bullet time or catalyst. I do need to get these decks or these hands emptied out. Let's go for another bullet time. And then we just won't remove any strikes whatsoever, I guess. Alright, it's not looking great. We have the fairy in the bottle, which is good, but we're kind of reliant on our powers, so what I'm going to do here is I definitely am going to wait on the catalyst for my nightmare. I probably won't play the footwork until it's upgraded. I want it to be upgraded because I want it to keep in line with his bullshit. Don't want strikes. So we got the Akabeko with flechettes. Let's go ahead and do that. So 7 times 12 will kill anything. Let's kill the higher health guy. Let's do a dodge and roll so we get some stuff for next turn. Trying to think what I'll do here. So I got 2 bullet times. I might as well use one of them while we don't have any draw cards. I may want this Noxious Fumes. I don't know. I definitely don't want the Caltrop. The problem is, if I don't play these power cards, let's try to get everything else out of this hand. Oh, the footwork got upgraded, so I will do the footwork. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And let's do this and throw Caltrops out because Caltrops isn't quite good enough. We don't have a piercing whale, so these... I guess I do Noxious Fumes. I have the Crippling Clouds. I don't think I need Noxious Fumes. And I don't want to give them extra strength. So those multi-attacks, I don't have Piercing Whale, I don't have Malace, they're going to be brutal. These strikes are just fucking killing me. Like, if I lose this run, which I'm probably gonna lose this run, let it be a lesson to you of how you need to remove strikes. Like, in hindsight, I honestly think Empty Cage would have allowed me to win this run much better than Cursed Key ended up doing. You know, just look at the problems that these fucking strikes have done to me, you know? So he'll be dead next turn, but if I weaken, the Fairy in the Bottle is going to proc here, so I think I still don't play Noxious Fumes. Wait for that to upgrade. I guess just do what we can in the meantime. Really motherfucking sucks that Catalyst is so often in the bottom of my deck here. And not only that, it's like so is the other Crippling Cloud, so is Backflip. Even Flying Knee would be like... I really should have done Empty Cage. Because I can't, like, look at this turn, for example. Like, how am I going to fucking survive this now? Like, I have to Nightmare this Catalyst. I needed to really Nightmare it earlier. It's like, if I Footwork here, it gives him 8 damage. So I'm better off just not playing it, you know? I fucking hate this shit. Question is, do I survive this? If I do, I should Nightmare the Catalyst. So 28. 7 times 4 is exactly 28. Games are really fucking with me here. So I absolutely have to do this. And let's just Flying Knee, get a little bit of extra energy, and get the strike out so we can draw into a full hand. What did it upgrade? Footwork. But I have Dude, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Look at this shit. I have 5 defense. I have a survivor. I have acrobatics to like draw into it. I have 2 dodge and rolls, 2 backflips, a leg sweep. Yet I just draw back into the strikes and the Flying Knee. And even the bullet time. Maybe the bullet time wasn't the right play, although I think it was because it's the only way I can empty out my hands. So let this be a lesson, folks, that not removing strikes is bad. Like, don't take the sexier relic when you could have took the plain Jane Empty Cage, because Empty Cage, I guarantee you, I would have been able to do a lot better with that. Even Sozu might have been better because these potions didn't really do a whole lot for me. I mean, Fairy in a Bottle allowed me to survive something, but probably wouldn't have took the damage in the first place. So I think Cursed Key was actually the worst choice that I could have made. Sucks, but it is what it is, I guess. So 9 plus, let me just double check. Orichalcum does 9 plus 6, which is 15, yeah. There's just nothing I can do to survive this. Sucks. Fucking sucks. What's funny is I can remove my draw thing for that too. Cool story, brah. Well, it is what it is. I think it's a good lesson. Let's do a quick run review there. Things I did correctly. I think I played Act 1 really well. Act 2, it's debatable if I played it well. I didn't take on any elites, even though I had a preserved insect. But it was like, I just didn't feel confident I could beat him, but maybe I should have played it a little closer to the wire. I was a little too confident that I didn't need... So Act 2 I fucked up. I think orange pellets was still the right call instead of removal. Plus I ended up... I don't know. I maybe shouldn't have bought things at stores when I could have removed strikes, but power pellets I don't think was the case. I think that was the correct call. It let me survive when I would have died in several of those fights. However, let's think of card choices in Act 2. Caltrops, I think at the time it was the right choice. I only had the one other power, and I had the power pellets and I needed it. But obviously Caltrops sucks. It did nothing the rest of the fight, the rest of the game. That's why I really don't rate this power very high. It's debatable if I should have took Caltrops or not. I could see an argument that I shouldn't have. Bouncing Flask, I think, was fine to take 2 of in Act 1. I got pretty unlucky with pretty much every fight being... I was pretty hit with a lot of AoE, I suppose. But sometimes that just happens. I still like Bouncing Flask a lot. My win rate's pretty high when I include it. The Crippling Clouds, they did their job. I never got to upgrade them. In general, I was resting a lot, but Warped Tongues should kind of negate that a little bit. Nightmare, it allowed me to take on that Act 3 elite, but other than that, it did nothing for me, really. It's debatable if I should have... I think I should have. I mean, Nightmare plus Catalyst was my only real win condition at the time. 2 times Bullet Time. I think that it was a good call. Well, it might not have been a good call. I think maybe removing the strike. Oh wait, never mind. I removed a curse there, so I couldn't have removed a strike. So I think it was a good call to take the second Bullet Time. Catalyst was, of course, a no-brainer. Fletchettes was obviously actually a really good card in this deck. I think it was definitely a right call to take that. Footwork, I think it's... I can't... having orange pellets and having 2 footworks, I don't think there's any mistake there. I think the only mistake is there's probably times where I took footwork, because I believe one of them I could have done a removal of strike instead, or I could have removed that one curse or whatever. Maybe I should have done that instead of a second footwork. Leg sweep, it did its job. I don't want to say it was underwhelming this run. It's hard to evaluate leg sweep in vacuums, but I think it did its job. Noxious Fumes, interestingly enough, I probably shouldn't have taken Noxious Fumes. I didn't need it. It was another thing to proc orange pellets with, and it's just a generally high value power. I should have looked ahead, because I think I took this in Act 3, and I should have looked ahead to see that Awoken One was my first boss. And I should have not taken Noxious Fumes. Noxious Fumes did nothing for me this run. I mean, it really didn't do anything for me this run. It was more of a burden. It was slow for the fights I didn't need slow things for, and it was a burden in the fight against Awakened One. Acrobatics, I think that was definitely the right call at the time. It was between that and Nightmare. Acrobatics definitely did its job. You know, it digged and it digged. There's not much I will say there's an element of getting unlucky, but there's also an element of I had too many strikes. I was unlucky in the sense that Catalyst was often way in the fucking back of my deck. There's not much I can do in those cases. What I can do in those like if it'll be in the bottom of the deck no matter what, if it's going to be there. But if I had the strikes removed, I could have got to it one turn sooner, basically, is what that comes down to. So that's kind of the argument for removing strikes. In a lot of those fights, I would have saved myself a lot of damage if I would have got to Catalyst sooner. Backflip, I can't argue against backflip, being that I needed to dig through my deck and I had footworks to support it. Dodge and roll. Maybe the second one was overkill, but it seemed like I was often just left without defensive cards. So, I mean, as you can see, even at the end there, I didn't have any defensive cards. That's why I died. That's why I took damage leading up to the death. That's why I died at the death. I was just filled up with attacks. Now, I will say, on that note, I took that poison stab. I probably shouldn't have done that. I took it because I thought I'd be light on attacks, because I figured I'd be removing strikes, and I figured wrong. Poison Stab was probably one of the worser choices I made. Flying Knee, I took that in Act 1 as like it was my only attack, I believe, at the time, so hard to argue against that. But it didn't really do a whole lot in the run. It's okay in Runic Pyramid. Yeah, it was okay. I can't argue against Flying Knee. My defense, I just couldn't draw them when I needed them, I guess. Neutralize, I didn't really need it that much. They were pretty much going to have weakness on them no matter what. My 5 strikes, this is like the big negative of this fight. I think the 3 worst decisions were taking Curse Key, not removing any strikes, and also taking this membership card. I thought that because... So when you get extra gold from Golden Idol, it displays the extra gold in a parentheses, I thought. And it didn't seem like I saw like my golden coming in extra. I don't know, I'll have to review this video, but membership card was... I should have just removed a strike, or at that point, and then not gotten a bunch of the other shit, because I was buying other shit. Like, I said it was hard to argue against the Crippling Cloud, but there was that one turn, I think, where I bought it when I could have removed a strike or could have removed a curse, and yeah, I guess it was the wrong call to buy the Crippling Cloud. Maybe, I don't know. Crippling Cloud's such a good card, though. It's tough. You just got to get these strikes removed. I think I could make the argument that I already had enough poison that I didn't need another Crippling Cloud. It's kind of goes against my philosophy. There was also a time I could have bought a Piercing Whale instead of this second bullet time. It's also possible that Piercing Whale was better. That would have helped me on those multi-attack turns against Awoken One. I probably should have took it, especially since I'm reliant on powers, and he inevitably was going to get strength gain at some degree. And then, yeah, that's the rest of it. Frozen Egg came in. This is a really good relic when you can actually get it early, but when you get it late, it's a pretty dead relic. It was completely dead for me. I would have rather had almost any other relic. Something that helped me, like maybe I don't know, like a Torii or something defensive would have been nice. Or like Snecko's Skull would have been amazing. But, you know, you can't win them all. I had gotten pretty lucky with a lot of my relics, so I'm bound to get something that's a miss. You know, I had pretty much hits all the way up until then. Akabeko, there was the one turn with Flechettes that it was pretty nice. But Akabeko's kind of better in the early game, too. And then the Dahlia's Mirror was just bullet time. Yeah, so lesson learned. I've said it like a million times, but remove strikes. Don't be like me. Until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And I know I'm talking to nobody because nobody watches these fucking videos. Isn't that fun? Like, if you are actually watching this, like, thank you so much for watching. Like, it feels like I'm just pissing in the wind a lot of the times doing this. It's like, why do I make these videos if no one's going to watch? But I don't know. Hopefully you learned something. So thanks for watching. Bye.